I think to be a great trial lawyer, you have to have both a combination of fearlessness and tremendous fear. But the fearlessness comes in because you're almost always faced with representing an individual against a extremely well-financed company. So you really are the David versus Goliath. The fear of losing, it's terrifying, it's anxiety-producing, but it also brings out the best in us. My name is Noah Kushlefsky. I'm the managing partner of Kreindler Kreindler LLP in New York City. It was originally founded by Lee Kreindler, who is even today considered the godfather and dean of aviation civil litigation. Interestingly, when I got here, I had zero background in aviation. But I was fortunate enough early in my career to work on significant aviation cases, which were tremendously gratifying. And what I found is that by taking on cases that are technical and complex, if I can learn it myself, I can explain it best to a jury. I can put it in terms that they will understand, because if I understand it, they'll have to be able to understand it, because I'm no different than them when it comes to aviation or, in fact, any kind of technical expertise. When the September 11th terror attacks occurred, initially it was an aviation case. It was a security case, and we didn't know what we were going to do. A lot of people died. A lot of people in my office had friends who died in the towers. We represented, of the 2,990 some people who were killed, we represented almost 500 of the families. Subsequent to those cases concluding, we filed lawsuits against the terrorists. And that was a natural progression for us because we had successfully litigated the Pan Am 103 Lockerbie case, first against Pan Am and then against Libya for its terrorism in bombing that airplane, later adding the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And that's a case that we are currently litigating. We represent 4,000 or 5,000 people in that case. A corollary is they reopened the Victim Compensation Fund to people who were made sick by the toxic air in and around Ground Zero. And my personal practice today is representing those people. We represent over 10,000 people who have suffered respiratory or cancer illnesses as a result of their exposure. And those claims are ongoing. The Victim Compensation Fund is open until 2090. So I will be doing that for the rest of my professional career. One of the cases that I'm most proud of, it was a case involving a push-button ignition in an automobile with a key fob. The case actually started in an unusual way. I got a call that a friend and referring lawyer of mine had died the night before of carbon monoxide poisoning because he had inadvertently left his car running in his garage. And I was also told that the key fob, which I always had thought was the key, was on the kitchen counter. And I kind of scratched my head, and I didn't understand how a car could run without the fob being in the presence of the car. So I brought that case against the manufacturer, and it was successful. Over time, manufacturers took notice, and they made some changes. They made it so if you leave your car with your fob in your pocket or your hand, and you leave the zone of the car and the car's running, there's a loud signal that tells you that you've done something wrong. So I take tremendous pride in that work because I believe that it led to a simple change that has saved countless lives today. We began working with Esquire Bank a lot of years ago, and our relationship with them has really been phenomenal. We know that we're working with a bank that sees things the way we do and wants the same things that we do for our clients and for the practice of law.